you ever had something rip, break, or fall apart on your trip and you would literally had no way to fix it? Because I have. Well, today I'm going to show you this little mini DIY travel kit that will literally fit in the palm of your hand. I'm a minimalist packer. I don't take anything in this backpack right here that I don't need. So this right here is teeny tiny. It doesn't weigh a thing and it has everything in here. Well, everything in here so far that I have found to be super useful for my travels. I'm going to show you everything I have in here, and then I'm going to ask for your help to help me think of new ways to use these items, and also what else that we should include in this travel kit so that this is the best DIY travel kit that we can ever find. Okay, let's get at it. Okay, this right here is my little mini DIY travel kit. And basically what this is, if you want to think about it in these terms, is it's kind of like a first aid kit for repairs. Like a little supply kit of things that I can use to make things while I travel that I might need to solve a problem or to fix things or what have you. So this little kit right here helps me do a lot of different things. It has a lot of the items in here have many uses. Now, I would like to ask a favor of you. As I'm going through these items, I would like you to please just get the wheels turning. I know that you're brilliant. I know that you're going to help me think of other uses for these items other than the ones that I mention in the video. So when you think of something, jot it down or just literally just pop into the comments and write down your ideas. Another thing that I would like you to do is also start brainstorming things that I could add to this kit. What are things that I'm missing that you think would be really helpful for a DIY travel kit? Drop those in the comments too. I would love your ideas. I'm trying to improve this kit, and anything that you could suggest, I would really appreciate. And remember, just drop it in the comments. I try to respond to every comment. And I love to have engagement with the viewers. And so please drop your comments. It'll also help other people have ideas too, because they'll read your comments and then they'll brainstorm ideas as well. And we'll get a really cool kit out of this if we can all put our minds together. Okay, let's open this up and let's see what we have in here. So first of all, I put this in just a little organza bag. You can put it really in anything you'd like, but I wanted to show that I could put it in something very small in the palm of my hand, and all of this stuff is very, very useful. So let's just dump these items out right here. Okay, so first of all, we have a sewing kit. Now that's going to sound like super basic, but sometimes that's things that we don't always remember to take along. Now, you can just get these from hotels. Oftentimes hotels will have these available for you if you need them. But what happens if you're in between hotels? What happens if you are literally at the airport and something rips, tears, your strap comes off of your little side bag? That happened to me when I was in Tokyo. The strap came off of my bag and I was like, well, great, what am I supposed to do? Luckily, I had a little sewing kit, so I was able to just fix it right there in the moment. And I didn't have to wait to go try to find something. I had something in my bag to repair what I needed to in the moment. Sewing kits are fantastic. Now, I have heard of people saying, don't rely on these little like prepackaged ones. Go get yourself a really, really nice needle that's, really thick and sturdy. Get some good sturdy thread and have that be your sewing kit. And I'm all for that. I just was putting this in here as an example of what you could have. The different colors are great, but you don't really necessarily need different colors. You just need a solid black or whatever, a white, whatever it is that you would like. You're not looking to completely fix something to make it perfect. You're looking to just get by with these little travel sewing kits. So what is nice about this, though, I will say that if you do put your own together with your own sturdier needle or your own better thread, make sure that you do include a few extra things. Like the buttons are fine. I think that is a fine thing to have in a sewing kit because, buttons do come off. You could replace it with one of these, or maybe you just need a button for another reason. The button is a good idea, but also some different size safety pins. This one's tiny, but you could get some different size ones to include in a little pack like this. You could put it in another organza bag, or you could just get another little plastic thing to put this in. If you have an idea of another way to store your little kit that's small, lightweight, and doesn't take up a lot of space, drop it in the comments. Give me some ideas. But a sewing kit is super, super helpful. Let's toss that one to the side. Now let's go on to our binder clips. Binder clips, might just seem like, oh, what are you going to do? Some like office work while you're gone? No, no, no. Office, I mean, of course, these are good for paper, holding paper together, but they're also good for other things as well. For example, my sister and I were driving from Boston to Prince Edward Island, Canada this last summer. And we stopped by Costco. We bought a giant bag of chips. And of course, this is going to last us for the whole trip. And so we're just like, oh no, like we don't have any way to close this bag. And they're just going to dump everywhere. They're just going to get stale. So I was like, wait a second, I have these little binder clips. So I pulled these out of the DIY kit. We just rolled down the bag and we just put those on the bag to seal it, to hold it in place, and it kept it closed. So that's one way that you can use these. Another way that you can use the little binder clips is that, like, say you're staying in a hotel room and you can't get the curtain to stay completely closed, the blackout curtain. So, and it has like a little strip of light that you're like, oh, it's so annoying. Or there's like a lamp post outside of your door, outside of your window that you're like, oh, shining right in the window. So, and you don't have an eye mask with you. So you can take these and you can put the curtain together, and then you can just like, pinch that and hold it in place on the curtain. So that's another thing that you can do with these. There's all different kinds of uses. Drop some comments. Let me know other things that you can think of. Oh, one more thing. Say you're hanging your clothes to dry and you have a clothesline, but the clothes won't stay on it. Just use a binder clip. Blink. Just put it right on there and it'll hold your sock on, or, part of your shirt that you want to like clip onto that clothesline. So that's another idea, but drop comments. I know that there's more ways that we can use these. I love multi-use items. So the more use I can get out of one item in my pack, the happier I am. Drop comments. Okay, we got that. The next thing that we have in here is this. Now this is kind of two items in one. So basically the top part on here, these are all rubber bands. Now you can just use the rubber bands that you get from Office Supply, just the really stretchy actual plastic rubber bands, but those are, in my opinion, they're kind of trashy because they don't last long, they deteriorate, and they break really easy. But these are like fabric ones that are meant for your hair ties, for your hair. These have been stretched out a bit. They're usually, when you get them, they're much tighter, which is fine. You just wrap it more times. But basically, these are used for all kinds of things. Anything that you need to close off, boom, got it. Anything that you need to bundle, say you have your cords, you need to bundle it, boom, you've got a little bundle. You can use it for your hair. You literally can't just use it as a hair tie. So you can, like the bag that I was telling you about, if you have a bag that needs to be closed off and the ties, the little clamps won't work, the paper clamp things, binder clips, if those won't work, then you can use a tie like this, and you can just, put the bag together, put this around a bunch of times, and now it's closed off. So many different uses for the hair ties. And like I said, I like these because they're fabric, they're stretchy, and they don't break. They would take a lot to break that. Okay. I wrap it around this thing. And what this is actually a broken chopstick. And what I did is I took the broken chopstick and I wrapped around a bunch of duct tape. Now, duct tape, as you may be familiar with, has so many uses. What's nice about it is that you can take this and you can rip it without needing scissors because you can tear it. A lot of tape that's strong, you can't do that with. You actually have to cut it. So that is what's really nice about duct tape. Also, it's very, very strong. So there's so many different uses that you can use this for. Say you get your bag rips. You could put, or your shoe rips, or your coat rips, something like that. You can put this over the top to kind of secure it in place until you can get it properly repaired. What are some other things? I had a list here. Let me look at it just a second. So you can actually also use this for sealing leaky containers. Say you have a shampoo bottle or a conditioner bottle that it's leaking, you could actually use this around the area to control the leak. You can do that. You can also use this to bundle cords if you needed to do that and you wanted something really secure. Say you're starting to get a blister. You could prevent shoe rubbing. You could tape inside of your heel or sandal strap. There's like a rough spot on your shoe or your sandal. You can put this on the inside to try to make it so it's not so rough and it doesn't cause blisters. Give me some more ideas. What are some more ways that we can use this duct tape? I know that there's a lot of fantastic ideas out there. Just let's drop them in the comments. And like I said, I wrapped this around a chopstick because that's what I had. Preferably, honestly, I would have rather have found like a short pen or pencil that was about this long. And the reason for that is because I really do need some kind of writing utensil in this pack. I usually take along with me a mechanical pencil and it goes into my laptop area. But if I had one in here that I just wrapped the duct tape around, that would be awesome too. I was just trying to keep it small so it would fit inside of this little organza bag. But honestly, if I had a small pen that I could wrap this around. Now I have a writing instrument that is also really handy to have, or a pencil. You might break the lead. That's the only problem, is if it's just tossed in here. But my point is that the chopstick's great. This is a great solution. But if you have a different idea of what we could wrap it around that would actually give us another use for the stick part, please suggest. Okay, our last item in here is this. And this is something super cute. I just barely got this and I love it. So this is probably the smallest scissors in the world I've ever seen. And they're made in Japan. They're so cute. Here we go, right here. You've got like this cute little set. And don't worry, you guys, for this and for some of these other items, I'm going to drop some links in the description so you can get these if you're interested. But seriously, hop in the description and get the link for this, because this is so cute. And this particular brand, I've found other brands that are not this small. They're bigger. And this one is just absolutely adorable. Look how tiny that is. Let's just show you how little that scissors is. I've never seen a scissor so small. And apparently they're TSA approved. So you can take these on your carry-on because they're just these little teeny tiny scissors. Now these, oh my gosh, these have so many uses. To be able to have a good pair of scissors, like you can cut your thread easier. You can cut your, like I said, you can tear this, but you could cut your duct tape easier. If you had other things that you needed to trim or cut, like say you got like, a nail that gets ripped and you don't have a fingernail clipper, you could potentially use that. Lots of different uses for this little scissors. I just think they're fantastic. So drop me some comments. Tell me why you think it would be really handy to have this little mini scissors in a DIY kit. Give me some more ideas. Give me some more ways on the road that you could see this as being valuable and important. If you are a crafter, if you do take along like, some kind of cross stitching or crocheting or knitting, then of course that's obvious why this would be helpful. I like it that you can just like put it on a keychain too. So if you don't want to keep it in the actual kit, you could just keep it on a keychain. But anyway, please drop some comments. Tell me why you think that the scissors would be helpful. Keep in mind, like I told you that it's TSA fine. It's fine with TSA. I can't imagine any place having a problem with this, but every country has their own security and, I can't guarantee that every country is going to be okay with this, but I can't imagine that this would be any kind of problem. I mean, look at that. It's not even like it's not sharp at all. It's cute. It's perfect. Okay. All right. So that is the little scissors. So that's my kit. That's everything I have in this DIY travel kit. Okay, so this is my little DIY travel kit that I take with me on every single trip, and I've used it more times than I can even count. Honestly, it's so awesome. But I know it can be improved. I know that everything can be improved. And so like I've said throughout this video, please drop your comments. Give me suggestions on ways that I can use these items in a different way that I haven't mentioned in the video. And also give me suggestions if you can think of anything that I should include in this little kit that I haven't put in here yet. Things that you've found to be helpful in your travels. Because when we put all of our brains together, you guys, we can solve the world's problems. At least when they're related to travel, right? So anyway, I just want to thank you so much for following this video all the way to this point, to the end. Thank you. And I hope that no matter where you are in this world, that you are having a wonderful day, happy and healthy life, and that you are living the adventures of your dreams. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.